So today, we got Nick Del Toro, a couple weeks out from his first show this year. We're gonna work on some posing, try to find the ways that work for him to create his best flow, his best physique. So same thing in the gym, everybody has different leverages, different limb lengths and things like that that dictate how their movement needs to be adjusted. And so we're gonna find for his structure what exactly he needs to do to create the best shape on stage with balance of lines, symmetry, fullness, and obviously conditioning. So let's get after it. So step up a little bit so you can be a little bit more in the light, and then we're gonna do front relaxed. Okay, so before you even get into the upper body, set into your legs. So like, find the separation, and there you go, there you go. Because what a lot of people do is they externally rotate too much through here, and then by doing so, they get tight in the glutes, and then they're fighting their hips back and forth, and so those hip flexors don't stay in.
I gotcha.
Yeah, so that's better. So like, I used to turn out all the time to like create width, and then I would always flicker on and off through here. But when I found like just a lot more presence in this place, legs were able to stay full, more sweep. Yeah, that's good. Okay, so now open all the way up. Good. At the end of the day, you might be posing in a mirror right now and looking at your eyes and looking at yourself in the mirror, but where are the judges? They're down there. So I always use like, where are your eyes going as a cue? So if your eyes are going to the judges and you're giving them all the attention that you need to give them to show excitement and gather their attention, then your physique will like be projected to them rather than like out into space. And yeah, the audience can see it, but what are the judges getting? They're getting an angle of you like hyperextended up here, right, and then you're looking further away. And so, yeah, so you want to like come to them a little bit. Yeah, that's better. And you see how all this opened up a little bit better? Because you're not like pulling all this apart and getting tight through there.
Okay.
Good, stay in those legs. And then you do a really good job of maintaining this area. Good. Core turn to the right. Okay, so one thing that a lot of people do is what you're doing right now. Yeah. They have their feet so close together, right? In what natural positioning of our body or activity of our body, when are we ever this close together?
Probably never.
Never. And so the way to present the most aesthetic physique is through natural movement and natural structure and posture. So like, if I'm really close together, then my hips are having to internally rotate, and it could be pulling away from my oblique and just this area. So what I like to do is kind of like open it up a little bit, and almost like I'm walking, right? So I'm coming from this side, and then I'm like, almost like I'm walking.
Yeah.
And then instead of walking, I set those hips, set the feet, pressure into the floor, and then I bring my energy and attention to the judges, and then set all of that. Because what that does, it allows your like pelvic floor and everything to breathe a little bit better. You're not suffocating it. Right. And then everything else can open up as a result. Good. Good, so not too far, just like a nice like subtle, you just don't need to be on top of your feet.
Okay.
Yeah, and that feels more natural, right? Yeah. Like this area doesn't feel so like free. Constricted. Yeah. Yes. And then, good. Yeah, that's money. And then just keep pushing. And yeah, see all this now? Good. And then life in the hands, life in the, you see how this is just like we want to be in our hands. Everything is active, creating pressure. Core turn to the right. Good. So you notice how you already subconsciously were like, I need to bring it back to the judges. And so it's the same concept. So now from here, don't overdo it. Because when you start overly focusing on your lower back, so try not to focus so much on that. Just because I have a back mirror doesn't mean we need to look at it. Right. Because then you start overthinking and focusing on what this is, and you're like compartmentalizing little parts of the physique rather than working one whole thing.
I follow.
So start from the floor, gather that presence and gather that intention through the feet, calves, hamstrings. The way I explain it is like, think of a battery charging up.
Okay.
Like you want to bring yourself all the way to that full battery and then open up. Let it work up the body. Yeah, that's
I'm
better.
like Godzilla, like
Right. Yeah. Good. But now, what are we doing here? Like we got no life. So we want to like create pressure, maintain pressure. And then from here, hamstrings need to wake up a little bit. So before you even focus on the upper body, that little squattiness, that might help a little bit. Think about pulling the ground apart with your feet and trying to pull out the, yeah, there you go. And then glutes to finish it off. Yep. Okay.
So I'm like doing like a hip thrust and pushing it out.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, that's better. Good. But then don't compress that low back so much. So like you can find that same presence without like, and then doing that.
Okay.
So like stand, and then what I like to do and think about is like pulling on the back of my knees.
Okay.
So if I do like a standing hamstring curl, that will separate. So try that. And you feel how like you can get the hamstring going.
Yeah.
So that's where like that little bit of squattiness comes in to get the hamstring activation. But if you squat too much, then you look like you're riding a bike or sitting down. It's just too much. So especially with your presence on stage, with your height, like you want to make sure you're not taking away from that. Yeah. Sitting into it a little bit, but not like squatting, and then just finding that presence and opening up. Good. More life back. Yep, there you go. That's better. And like what a lot of people do, keep doing it, but they'll try to get wider, and by doing so, they lose all this nice depth that you have through here. So they're like, oh, I'm so focused on being the biggest guy on stage that you end up making yourself the smallest guy on stage. Core turn to the right. Good. And then same thing here, like pressure through that right heel and applying it through the floor as if you're going to take another step. Okay. And by doing that, it engages that glute, because how many times you see people just like thrust to get their glutes? And then what ends up happening is everything gets constricted.
Yeah.
So instead of doing an activity that's literally just squeeze glute, because that's not what posing is. Posing is a whole body. We do an activity. So we do a step, and we like push into it without overly squeezing the glute and taking away from everything else. Like glute lines are important, but not if they take away from everything else. Better. Pressure. There you go. Good. Life in the forearms, life in the hands, tight core. There you go. Good. Front double. Okay. So what I saw was great legs, and then you got into the pose so fast that you stopped governing your legs. So like great legs, and then as soon as you bring your arms up above your shoulders, flat legs. So what I suggest is going slow enough to where you can feel that point of, okay, here's the line where I am overextending myself for my development. So like we set into it, and then we slowly bring it up, and then there's going to come a point where, oh, I've gone too far and I've lost. But see how since you governed it, you're looking great. Front double, yeah, exactly. Good. Wait, whoa. So, yeah, there you go.
It's nailing the cue to begin with.
Yes, because once you, and that is the secret to posing, is simplifying it to the point where you can govern everything that you're trying to govern. But if you mess up from the beginning, and then you come up here, and then you try and find it, well then you're already doing one thing with way too much focus, which is the upper body. And then you're just kind of like trying to find the lower, and then you're fidgeting, and instead I'd rather it be like from the very beginning, okay, fidgeting a little bit, finding it, finding it, finding it, finding it, finding it. And then you can maintain, see the legs, you can maintain that pressure by keeping yourself active. Like it's not just stiff, here I am, pose. It's like, I had an epiphany on the balance board out there on the endo boards, right? You're balancing, you're balancing, you're balancing. And then as soon as you find that like stability, are you not moving anymore?
Not really, kind of.
You are moving though.
Yeah.
It's like the earth rotating, right? You can't feel it, you can't see it.
Kind of like a bumblebee, just like.
Exactly. So when you're on the ground and you're getting into your pose, instead of you like, you know, doing all this and making it visual, it's so subtle of like, I'm standing here and looking like this, but in reality, I'm like doing it so subtly that you can't see. But that's how stable I am. That's what stability is sensation and then finding comfort in sensation. So as soon as you get out of the place where you can govern the body, that stability goes away and you don't have the same kind of physique. So let's see it again. Good. Yeah, dude. Good, good, good. Biceps, everything look awesome. And then maybe just a little, yeah, okay. You see how much you opened up with that?
Yeah.
Just that little bit of intention.
It's almost like a lat spread.
A little bit. It's just bringing yourself to the judges. Because if I'm back here, I'm not going to be as like dense and not have that 3D look where I'm popping out at you. But you have so much going on up here, nice core, that if this is a little bit bigger, it's going to be crazy. Good. All right, front lat. So when you're transitioning from your front double to your front lat, don't just stay stuck. Like what I'll do is I'll hit it and then I'll kind of like drop and do that same kind of like reestablishment and then get into it. Okay, so good, real good. Let me see what happens if you put the right foot just like an inch or two ahead of the left foot. And you turn this in a little bit.
Oh, all right, it looks like I got sweet now.
Yeah, and that's where I'm saying like that hip with that external rotation, what it does is it's pulling the adductor super tight and making the quads go thin. So if you keep it a little bit more like...
I never would have thought to put this leg forward.
Mm-hmm. And maybe that leg is shorter or longer, one of the two. I can't think of which one it would be right now. And like putting it in front a little bit allows you to put more pressure into it.
I'm actually like standing on it, yeah. And then I'm flexing this one. Oh.
Well, I would say bring that foot back just a hair, just a hair. Because too much north and south on the hips can make you pull your hips apart.
I see.
So set in, before you even do the upper body, set the legs. Just a little bit. There you go. Good. How's that feel comparative to your normal one?
Like, I have some grip.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you feel like that right leg is longer or shorter?
This one has always been the prettier leg.
Okay.
And this one, it's always been hard to get shredded. I don't really know.
Okay.
If one's longer.
Because like for me,
how it feels.
I would say like I'm always driving, right?
Yeah.
And then I'm like I'm always like this. So I'm like sitting on this leg and compressing the hamstring, but also reaching out and extending the hip. So like for me, this one is easier to get in when it's back. For me, and I think that's because it's maybe longer and I can just like kind of place this leg. But for you, it might be that this just feels better because you're able to put more pressure into it from the length.
No, I definitely like it better.
Cool. Let's see front lat again. So space your feet out just a hair so you can have a little bit more width through the quads. There you go. Good. So another thing I want you to do, instead of like looking at your feet while you're doing that, is think about where the judges are going to be and think about like if my eyes go down and my head goes down, then my body will follow. Yeah. So like from the start, you're compressing the low back and pulling all this apart because you're down here. So like if we keep that nice like Superman chest and and not lose any of this. Yeah. That's better. That's better.
I like the analogy of the Superman chest, because what kid didn't know how to do this?
Yeah, exactly. But you know how to. Justice League. Good. Side chest. And like, use your eyes, and that camera lens is your focal point. So I know I said down below, but like the way you're gonna get the best look, not only in this moment, but it's just sending your attention where you want it to go. So if we're looking at the camera lens, that's what we want it to pick up. And so that gives you something to focus other than yourself in the mirror.
So in each situation, whether producing something or getting the energy from where you want the energy to go, I guess.
Right. Think about actors and actresses.
Yeah.
Like, what are a lot of these scenes? It's just people like looking at them, like looking at each other in the eyes.
They're intent, yeah, so you're feeling that.
Yeah, so it's just like full presence, full attention. And so,
camera.
Right, so if we bring that to the stage or bring that to the judges or whatever, like that attention is what gathers the attention from other people. It's like, I'm really good at bringing presence. And then you feel that presence, and then it draws your eye to me, and then all of a sudden we got, put that guy in the middle. Good. Front, side chest.
This is the one.
In the NFF, you have to work both sides.
Oh, is that right?
And bodybuilding, yeah.
So it doesn't matter which.
You got to do both.
Yeah.
So either way.
This is the one I want to, like, some fucking detail, but it's better than it was at this point last time.
Yeah. So instead of like fumbling into the pose, like once again, make it an activity. So for me, on this side, but I can do it on either side. So like I start step by step. Like, what is the activity that gets me to the positioning that I want to be in? Not, I know I need to be here. Yeah. So it's like, my first step is always like a lot of grounding in that left hip. If I'm hitting it from this side, that left hip, that left heel. And then I'm going to find the grounding and just like plant in here. And I might even like come forward a little bit, because it's not natural for you to be like, here I am, really stiff and tall. So it's like,
it's just like a whole like nice moving statue.
Yeah, plant, and then you're like applying pressure to that glute, find the rib cage, and then bring in a little bit more attention here. There you go. There you go. Good. Now blow it out in the core. Yeah, and then just close this gap a little bit. Good. So instead of exposing the sternum, I think you should probably like come down a little bit. Yeah. And then open up. Yeah, that didn't look good. And then open up. Yeah, that's better. Because it makes your waist bigger when you push this out. But that looks dope. How do you like that?
That looks... I know I had like good components, but then whenever I got it, like my neck was doing something weird, or then I was doing this and I was all up here, so it was like, how do I just nail a good look? You know?
So I think that just comes down to overposing and overthinking. So that's what I'm saying, like activities that make it like, I have to sense the floor. I have to sense the floor and sense
be
my...
more present, just feel the whole...
So that's the same kind of thing I want you to think about your workouts, your posing. Like, don't do it as if you've done it 1,000 times. Refine the presence and refine the attention to make it as if you've never done it before, and you're trying to like feel everything there is to feel in it, and then you end up in the place where you want to go, even though you know you've done it 1,000 times. Yeah. That's better. And then just a little bit more here. There you go. Take it to the judges. So like maybe just that could work. I was just thinking more of a little bit rotation, not too much, because when you overturn, you're exposing too much.
Right.
But that's good. Pressure here. There you go. All right, other side.
You just kind of take a step.
So.
Or is it the other one?
Right foot.
Yeah.
Presence. Left foot. Presence, rib cage, presence, arms, boom. Yeah, that's solid. You're almost more natural in the upper body with this than you are on the lower, like on the other side.
Okay.
And for whatever reason that is, that looks good. Side tricep, either side.
Where do we go with that one?
So that's good. I would stay a little bit more like on top of yourself, just a hair. And that way, and also like reset. So when you get into it, like just like putting an arm back there, it can be good for some, and for others it just kind of like makes the body a little lazy.
Yeah.
So what I do is, for some people, especially if they're bigger, is I'll have them like reach behind and like over that shoulder and then pull into it. Because if you're just like stuck down here and doing this, you get very core centric. Yeah, that looks cleaner, dude.
Okay.
And you see how this is a little bit more lively?
Yeah, because it's like a whole kind of a...
Yeah, it wasn't just like, I'm already compressed and then, yeah. Good. Other side. And you're very like core centric, so like, that's why your abs are great and they're peeled right now compared to other places.
Yeah.
But when you get too like, like it just brings you down and doesn't allow your like good structure to open up the way it could or should. So don't just hold your arm, like make it fresh. So like step, reach back, boom. Make it an activity, keep it fresh. Good. Yeah, that's great. And then just rotate a hair, so just a little bit. There you go. So now we have a little more chest, a little bit more width. Blow this out. Yeah. So like once you finally like have the positioning and alignment that you want, that's when I want you to get gnarly through the core.
Okay.
So that way you're not getting too tight in the core and then everything's already compressed and then you get even gnarlier through it and then it's like, okay, I'm just getting really tight.
Yeah.
But if you like have enough pressure but not let it like fall out and then come into it, and then once you know you're set, make it super crazy, then that attention will allow, yeah, that's good. Good. And same thing here, hold it. When people are trying to get their glutes in on this pose, you see them like do that and tuck their glute. No. It's pressure. Pressure that allows that glute to activate from the floor and the heel rather than, yeah, that's better. Good, back double. Okay, so looks solid. What do you feel? Do you feel like do it again, and I want you to think about, does anything feel like it's being pulled out of place? Like it's just not like very close to the body and I can control it well. Like, does it feel like if I put my leg out here, like is there a lot of instability? Like, would it feel better if maybe I went a little bit closer together?
Right, okay.
Better.
Just kind of playing around with it.
Mm-hmm. So like one of the things that I did with Ray yesterday on the lat spread is I used to always open up and then I would like take a big step back and I would, get the round going and have that. But instead yesterday I did something different and it allowed me to maintain control better. So I opened up here and then instead of me taking that big step back, I literally just like baby stepped, just like an inch. And then it allowed me to not get so caught up in my glutes and low back to where everything else opened up that much better. So think about that concept with your back double now. And instead of like really pulling that out there, maybe you just need to like come back a little bit and see what that looks like. That's better. And then one thing I want to see is packing down the lats. So yeah, okay, there you go. You see that difference?
Yeah.
So a lot of people have floating scapulas when they're back double. Okay. So they're up here and then they lose that nice detail through here and they lose like true conditioning down there. It looks full and sweepy, but you're also like, I feel like I want more out of that pose. Like it just looks flat. Yeah, so what I would do is come up, and then once you get into that pose, just kind of like very subtle.
Okay.
Instead of trying to like pack down super hard, don't over pose. Yes, there you go. Perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Good legs, glutes. Solid. Flat spread.
Find it again?
Mm-hmm. Same thing, keep it fresh. Because if you stay in this position for 2 poses,
Yeah.
time length, like you're gonna get tired for one, and also your legs are gonna start flickering on and off because you've been tight in one position for too long. So it's just gonna like naturally fade.
Right.
But if you like do something to like reestablish activity, then it's a new activity. Good. Good. So try standing a little taller instead of like bowing or bowing out so much. Does that allow you to get into your hamstrings a little bit easier?
Actually, yeah.
Yeah. It's just that squattiness of like
I hate that squat.
pulling the hips apart, and then your hamstrings naturally like roll around, or your quads roll around, so your hamstrings compensate for it. Yeah, right there. That's all you need. Good, 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 good. Yeah, that's way better.
Okay.
And you can hold that all day, right?
Yeah.
Compared to the other one where it's like
I'm like
trying.
I feel like a dog taking a shit or something.
Yeah, and that's overposing. Like literally like all rounded in the back. But like that's overposing. Like people try to, whatever in their mind they're trying to hide, by trying to hide it, you actually make yourself more exposed to it.
Yeah, I was trying to dig in and feel this flex, if because that's what I thought would show the hamstring.
Mm-hmm.
But
So don't think flexing shows the hamstring. Think pressure and not overposing, because yeah, that looks good. That looks good. One of the best cues I can give people is pose like you're in shape. Like
Okay.
pose like you're peeled.
like, okay, it's a lot less stuff.
Yes,
Yeah.
because when you're posing to hide conditioning that's not there, that's not how you're going to pose on stage, because the conditioning is going to be there. We know you bring good conditioning, so that's not a problem. And then when you overpose with conditioning, that's when you get tight and flat. And that's when you're sweating on stage and you're like shaking. And so what it really boils down to is, where's your development right now? Your development right now is, I have a really good shape and a really good physique, but I'm not all the way conditioned. And so I'm compensating for that, when in reality, I could just stand there like I'm already in shape and have a great look, and then in 3 to 4 weeks' time,
Yeah.
I won't need to do anything more than what I've already been doing. So yeah, like right now your adductors are a little suffocated, so like step out a little bit. There you go, let them breathe. Yeah. Yeah, that's good.
This looks so much better.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Let's see, ab and thigh. Okay. So what can we do to get more space in between the legs? Yeah, like that would be a good option. So like coming out here a little bit, like it might look a little funky or feel a little unnatural at first, but I would really set into this leg first. So set into this one, create that mind-muscle connection to where I'm governing that, I'm not gonna lose it. And then just find whatever shape, sweep you wanna find. That's better. That's definitely better. Because that just looked like a lonely leg. Like it just looked like you just kind of like stuck your leg out there.
Trying to do like a Dorian.
Right.
Does it all like this?
But when you turn it out so far and show more adductor than you do quad sweep, like it's that fine line of here versus here. Like here, I can see quad sweep. Here, I just see adductor, and it's an illusion of having a thicker leg, but the shape and the lines and the detail aren't necessarily the same.
I got you.
Because you have legs, so we don't want to hide them. Better. Good. And so one thing I want you to do is not get so compressed in your neck and your chest.
Yeah.
So like almost every person that I work with when they do their ab and thigh, they have their hands like back here. And by doing so, you literally put your chest in your neck. You're like already here to start. And then you want to get real tight to your core, and you're like, I can't fucking breathe. And so instead, put your hands on like the top of your head and allow them to kind of come out a little bit. And that way, like I can get some air into my diaphragm and some air into my rib cage. Yeah. And that's way easier, right?
Yeah.
And now you're not suffocating and battling discomfort. It's like doing a front squat with the bars on your neck. You're like, I can't do this. But if you open.
And then the overall aesthetic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it allows this to open up. All of that can open up nicely, but once again, don't get super, super core-centric before you have your legs. So like set the legs, and then find as you're coming up, like I can come all the way up, but when I come all the way up, I expose too much of here and expose too much of my hips. So maybe I don't need to lean back at all. Like I need to be like almost on top of myself and coming over my legs. So legs first, because every time you start blowing out into your core, you lose the legs. So set the legs. I'm gonna go step by step and take it really slow. So set the legs. Okay, now come up into your upper body, hands on the head, and then blow down really slow, right there. Anything past that, you could do it, but you risk losing that. And that still shows completeness from top to bottom, right?
Okay. Yeah.
Good. And then that little bit extra that you were doing where you're like all the way down into there.
Yeah.
That just extra tension pulls away from everything else. Let's see it again. Hands up a little higher on your head. There you go. That way you can breathe. Yeah, that's good. Just a little more presence here. That's still good. Yeah, good. And then get gnarly once you have your legs set and everything. Yeah, that's better. And you see how when you do that last, it doesn't have you flicker on and off in other places. Favorite classic, in case you want to do that? Okay, so for you, big biceps.
Yeah.
So like you could literally do like a mantis, you could do archer. Yes, that's a great pose too. You could, side tricep could technically be, yeah, side tricep they don't do in NFF.
Oh, really?
Not for classic.
Oh.
It's not a mandatory pose. So, let me see like a front tricep with your right leg in front. But like don't overlap yourself and hide. So like even step further, a little bit further out. A little more east and west.
Okay.
Yeah. Good, and bring that arm out in front a little bit more. And you don't have to lock it out. Because when you lock it out, you see how small my arm gets?
Yeah.
If I bend it and flex it and squeeze, so like still, like keep a little bit more bend. Yeah, there you go. And then, yeah, dude, that's an awesome pose for you because of how much development and conditioning you have in the upper.
Yeah.
And like what I'm getting at is if you lock out that arm, you get stringy.
Yeah.
And you're just like, dude, I have no taper. But if I kind of like bend it a little bit and instead of knocking it out, I just kind of like squeeze it. Yeah. And you can keep transitioning. Like that could be here, it could be here, even transition over here. Like you can do so much with that. So find this leg, pressure. You're definitely more comfortable on the other side.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a solid transition pose. Let me see archer. I think your archer, come right here. So don't be so like cocked leg with it.
Oh.
Like more stability here. And then I just go like straight arm, like a T. So rotate, yeah, there you go. That's better, that's better. What does your teacup pose look like?
What's a teacup?
Teacup. And this one, I would say left leg in front, right leg behind a little bit. So like a 12 and a 3, or a 12 and like a 2.5. or maybe the opposite side, depending on how you feel more comfortable. But don't like have that leg falling behind, like use that heel to stabilize. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Opposite, opposite. Set in. Good. Yeah, so like this is the kind of pose where I see you doing really well in NFF Classic, or just Classic in general. Just because you're so streamlined with it. That's good too, but this is hiding. Yeah, there you go. And then, yeah, that's good. I think I still like the other side just because I see more leg detail. For whatever reason, when this leg is back, it just opens up a little bit better.
Yeah, this looks better.
Mm-hmm. Maybe you've never want to hit this, but maybe you do, but something like this. Or maybe the opposite side, just because that leg looks, yeah. That's a good pose for you.
Yeah?
Yeah, I would say just reach this out a little bit. Yep, mm-hmm. And then instead of cocking so much into that hip, yep, stand a little bit more on that right leg. Okay. So like, I come from left leg and I'm like almost all the way on that left leg, and then just, I don't like torque so hard, just like a little bit, and it's more like where my hands want to go, just reaching.
Okay.
Yes, look at that. That's dope. That's dope. Let's see here or here, since you do have that nice core. That's good. I just think you get a little narrow through here on this one when this arm is up specifically. So that's why that teacup pose looks a little better. And reach out. Okay. Yeah, I like teacup pose better than arms overhead, because when you go arm overhead, serrated, yes, that pops out, and that looks dope. Let's see, most muscular. Okay, so before we get super gnarly through the core, set those legs, and then build your way up. So like gnarly through the legs, gnarly through the core, bring in energy. So you see how you're just kind of squeezing?
Yeah.
Like I want you to take yourself to the camera lens.
Okay.
So like creeping forward ever so slightly of like, you're gonna feel me, you know? Yeah, that's better. And you see how all this looks a little bit better? You're not losing fullness. Yeah, that's dope. That's dope. See another one, different variation. Okay, let me see crab. Solid, solid. So you're kind of in your traps in that one a little bit. So like, reach forward, like, yeah, that's better. That's definitely better.
Is it too stringy in here for that one?
No, I see what you're saying, but this would just be like a pose down transition, like most muscular, boom, boom, something like that. Yeah, good. So that would be a good favorite classic too. So like I fit that plenty of times right here and just stand like a statue. It's basically a front double. But whatever you were just doing before that was better.
What was it?
Similar, yeah, but just bring that arm up. Now blow it out. Yeah, and then really gnaw it to the legs. Yeah, that's a good pose. Do you know how to do the Arnold? Twisting back double?
That one?
Yes, I would say try something different. So instead of having this leg like that, take a little bit wider stance. So that way you can kind of like get into your hips a little bit more. And then go with that same like T in line with your hips.
Okay.
See what that looks like. Yeah, dude. That looks sick.
Yeah?
Just look in the mirror if you can see.
Oh, fuck. Hello.
Don't look in the mirror though.
Oh, right.
Yeah. Like, look in the mirror after you're done.
I made it the note to not do that.
You're like, dude, I can't wait to see that shit. Yes, and then just a little bit sitting into the hips to get the glutes going. Yeah, now take a look at that.
That's a nice pose.
Yeah, dude.
I'll get that. more diced.
Right, and then
Good.
from that place here, you can easily transition that into something like this, or just like a half, yeah? Or you can do like a lat spread on one side, and yeah, And now you're finding like, dude, in one leg position, I can do 7 different poses.
That was totally sick, man.
Any feedback, like
no, I just
light bulbs going off?
Yeah, all the light bulbs.
Perfect.
All the light bulbs are going off. I just want to review it and then remember the little subtle things like my foot forward and then the classical poses.
Yeah, dude. And when you can't see yourself and then you see yourself hit those poses, you're gonna be like, oh shit, I didn't even know I looked that good.
Okay.